All right, guys. So let's talk about the common texting mistake you guys be doing with women. All right. And the thing is this is that these things are preventable. Like they're preventable, motherfuckers, man. You guys can prevent this, but for some reason, you guys just for some reason, what tends to happen is that the reason why you guys don't pay attention to my texting tips is because you guys think you guys know more than me. Like you guys would say, "Oh, you know what? Fuck what he says. I got this chick. Let me text her how I text her just this one time because I have her." And then you find out you text her how you want to text her. A week later, she's busy, right? A week later, suddenly she's a fucking ambassador of the United Nations, and now she's always busy, right? So how, right? And the thing is, she worked at a farm before. So how the hell are you busy now because you worked at a farm? Anyways, not speaking from experience. So look, these are common mistakes that I want you guys to avoid. And if you guys just avoid these mistakes, you guys are going to look, man. The biggest, one of the things you can't measure the women. You cannot measure the women who you lost because of your stupidity. We can't measure that, right? But what we could do is avoid losing those women because those are the last women you want to lose. You don't want to lose a woman who really likes you. You know, hey, thank you, Jared, for the $2 donation. You don't want to lose a woman who really likes you. All right. So this is how you do. The first mistake is one, text you right away. I know you guys might say, dude, but that's fucking common. No, it's not, motherfucker. In fact, I used to do that shit a lot. When I was learning game, I would text a girl on the same fucking hour. On the same fucking hour, man. You know? And even though that's a mistake, I got laid a little bit. I did get laid, but I'm like, fuck, man. Like if I would have just waited 3 days, you know, or preferably 7 or 10 days, it would have been completely different. So just do me the favor. Anytime you get a woman's number, if you cannot go out with her on if you can't go out with her 3 days from you calling her, like if you call her on Wednesday, if you cannot go out with her on Friday or Saturday, don't call her. Don't call her. If you get her number on a Friday and you gotta if you're gonna schedule a date with her, don't schedule a date for next week and that day. Because women will say, oh, I forgot. No, always schedule the date 2 days before the date so that you guys have enough time so that she doesn't give that bullshit excuse. So that means if you get her number on a Sunday, you're not gonna ask her out. You might ask her out that Thursday, all right? Or you could wait for the next weekend, like let that weekend pass, and then on that week's Thursday you could ask her out, right? The point is that by just not texting her on the same day, you're gonna fix a lot of issues. The next thing is not calling on the first contact. When you text a woman as your first contact, I know it's easy, but it's a lot. It's you could more easily tell if the woman likes you by calling her. Why? First of all, by you calling her, right? You're communicating to her that that's how you communicate, right? That's no big deal. What's really important is when you call her, you're gonna notice a few things. One, if you notice that the conversation is hard, it's not because you suck at conversation. It's because she just doesn't want to talk to you. You know when your parents are talking to you and you don't want to talk to them, so you make the conversation hard on them so that the conversation can end early. You know what I'm talking about, right? That's what they do on you, and you think you suck at conversation. No, motherfucker, she's just not cooperating with you. You know. So when you're on the phone with her, I got this from AMS. Talk about 15 to 20 minutes, right? To get to up, she's into you, right? Sometimes that isn't, but the point is, no matter what, no matter if she's not putting effort or putting effort, you're still gonna ask her out. I mean, you fuck them too. You know what I'm saying? So after 10 or 15 minutes of talking, talk, ask her what she's doing, where she's from. I'm telling you, when she it's gonna be hard to talk to her. So you're gonna think that you suck at conversation. It's not that you suck. She just doesn't like you. Don't say, oh fuck, that conversation was bad. Let me Google how to have better conversations with a woman that doesn't like me. No, don't do that. The next thing, so once you call and you talk to her, ask her out. And on that first conversation, ask her out, right? Now, mind you, don't call her at 3 in the morning. Call her, find her schedule, like find her when she's usually free. And if she says, I'm usually free in the evenings, call her in the evening. Let's say she doesn't pick up. When she doesn't pick up, then just text her, hey, give me a call back when you can. And you know what? It's over. If you call and she doesn't pick up, right? Or if you call and she picks up but she can't call. No, if you call and she doesn't pick up and you send that text message and she never calls you but texts you, okay. If she texts you back, all right, fine, right? I don't care about texting, but I'm afraid because if she texts you and doesn't ask to hang out on the text, like if she's not texting and showing interest, it's like when somebody calls you and you don't want to talk to them, so you text them back. You see what I'm saying? It just means she doesn't want to call you, she doesn't want to talk to you, and most likely she might say no to you asking her out. You have an option. You can let her go, right? I recommend you letting her go, man. Honest to God. A woman who likes you, she'll call you back. After that, right? The next mistake that people do is trying to be funny over text, right? Stop trying to be funny, all right? Stop trying to be funny. Stop trying to, look, guys, I know a lot of you guys listen to RSD. Pay attention to a lot of the shit they talk about. Do not pay attention to their text game. Do not pay attention to RSD's text game. Please don't. Please don't. Because they don't know a shit about texting. They know everything about code approach. I can promise you that. They know how to do code approach during the daytime, code approach during the wedding, code approach on during the church service, during the club. But there's one thing that they can't do is text game, because they tell you guys to double text. I've heard them give advice, and I heard them say, after 3 times of not texting you back, leave her alone. If I hear that from anybody, I'm like, clearly you come from a scarcity mentality. It's not that you are in a scarcity mentality, but you come from a scarcity mentality, because that kind of stuff comes from scarcity. Honest to God, Drake does not do that. I mean, that kind of stuff only comes from scarcity mentality, and that's a blind spot that a lot of us has, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I got that from Max. Actually, it wasn't from Max. It was from RD, the one who's doing the 4-week natural now. So please stop trying to be funny, all right? Stop trying to be funny. Stop trying to sound interesting. You don't need to be that, all right? All right, the next thing is not having structure to your text. When you don't have a structure to your text, you are led by emotion. My dude, what I mean is this. When you meet a girl that finally texts you back and is in love with you, and so you stop applying these tactics because she's in love with you. So you're like, I'll never lose her. She's in love with me, right? You see what I'm saying? You keep your structure no matter what. It doesn't matter. Like, you gotta keep the structure, because you're gonna be tempted to let go of it. Excuse me. Sorry. You're gonna be tempted to lay your hands off of the. You get tempted to lay your hands off the pedal. Keep it there. Keep that distance. If she's showing you an interest, doesn't give you permission. It always be one level below her level of interest. Guys, look, man. Without a structure, you're gonna let emotions control the way you text. You need a structure. You need a structure behind the way you text. You see what I'm saying? So the way you do it is this: a very simple structure. In the first text of the day, you take 3. I got this from AMS. The first text of the day, you take 3 or 4 hours to respond, and then you go back and forth, texting, taking 10 or 15 minutes to respond, or sometimes 5 minutes. You don't take 1 minute to respond. You take 1 minute to respond once every fucking week. Once every 2 weeks, you take a minute to respond. You know, and so yeah. So take 10 and 15 minutes to respond to each text, and then after 3 times, go back to taking 3 to 4 hours to respond. And then you don't put ha-has and LOLs to your text messages. You don't send any emojis. You don't send any symbols. That means no question marks, no exclamation marks. You keep that shit rudimentary and fucking simple. You see what I'm saying? What I'm saying to you is this: text your girl like you text your drug dealers. You don't tell your drug dealer, hey bro, let me LOL. Motherfucker, who does that shit, man? Yo, 8th. Let me get an 8th. ETA. It's like ETA. Yo, what's good? Where you been? Like, it's like you gotta text her like you text your dealer. You see what I'm saying? The only thing is, don't text her back fast, because you text your dealer fast, very fast. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, just notice the way you text these hoes, man. Stop putting in too much effort with them. I got a question. I watched your video and YouTube recommended me AMS and Todd. Now, what do I focus on? Bro, when it comes to AMS, listen to everything he says except cold approach. Because he's a good looking dude, he's 6'4". So his cold approach is completely different. And his cold approach is not for a regular dude. You know what I'm saying? Like I've tried this cold approach game. It doesn't work. Better to listen to Todd about cold approach. Use AMS for when you get the number and you want to get his full love. Use Todd to get the girls. You see what I'm saying? And I don't know how the hell you're going to use my channel. All right. I'm like a cross between both of them. All right. But they're both, in my opinion, they're both the best at what they do. You know, Todd is amazing at talking about game in terms of like getting the girl at the club, at the daytime. Amazing. AMS is amazing for the after game, like how to keep them. I'm telling you. And how do I know this? Because I'm a student. Motherfuckers, I'm a student, man. Like I've been looking for, there's been parts of the game that I didn't know until I knew about AMS. And some of you guys say I get all my material from AMS. Truth is, I only get, most of my materials like is about 5%. And the things I get from AMS is this: the texting, the whole, what I just told you about texting, what I just told you, I got from AMS. The waiting 7 days after the waiting 7 days after calling, after getting the number, AMS. The waiting 7 or 14 days after sex, AMS. And that's it, man. After that, it's pretty much has been a combination of different coaches in my experience, you know. Because you're like, what kind of dating coach doesn't learn from other coaches? You know, like, what do you think you're done learning? You're not done learning. You're never done learning. I'm never done learning, you know? All right, people. This is Alex from myforattraction.org. Be safe, people. If you guys want to purchase my course, go to the link below. If you guys want to purchase my online course, my the Dark Game, it's my only course that I have, go to the link below. He says, yeah, Todd is more goofy, dude, and he flirts by AMS. He says flirting is BS. You have to be high value. Yeah, I agree. But the thing is, though, it's different. Like club game is different. I can promise you that Todd gets more pussy from club game than AMS. Yes, Todd goes out more often, but I can promise you that per capita, he gets laid more often. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just how it is, man. All right, guys, I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm gonna be doing a live stream where I'll be taking phone calls. So I'll see you guys later, man.